Talking Football on WTNS with Steve Cores and Casey Claxon.
Welcome to Talkin Football here on WTNS, brought to you this week by Bradford Financial Group. I'm Casey Claxon here with Steve Cores. It is week 13 of the high school football playoff season, because last week we saw the Ridgewood Generals get a big victory over their arch nemesis in the playoffs, the Wheelersburg Pirates.
And I'll tell you what, a big victory it was. They dominated both the line of scrimmage. They jumped out on them early, got the big touchdown. Then got 3 and out, got the ball back, scored again, had that onside kick that, we had but a lot of us tried to decide what the heck even happened. And, from that point on, they just really took care of business, dominated the game. And now it's on to Ironton, and that's going to be a different animal.
It's the Elite Eight, only 8 teams remaining in Division 5, and everybody's pointing to this game possibly being who could have the upper hand at a state championship when they play the Ironton Fighting Tigers.
This is going to be a big one, no question about it. The one thing about Ironton, they're not going to be fancy. They like to line it up, and they're going to run it right at you. We took a look at some of their stats. They don't throw the ball around a lot. They do have a big tailback, 6'3", 225-pound Reed Carrico. He's also a middle linebacker, and he's already a commit to Ohio State as a junior, so he's going to be formidable. But I'll tell you what, that Ridgewood offense has done a great job. They moved the football. Ironton's going to have to be on their game to slow down the Generals. It's Saturday night. It's a smaller venue than what we saw last week down at Lancaster. I think the capacity is about 3,500, so it's going to be a little more intimate. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great atmosphere, and it's a game, no question, we're really looking forward to covering.
Chris Wallace caught up with a few of the Generals as they practiced down at Stewart Field in preparation for their game against the Tigers. Chris.
Thank you very much, KC. We are alongside Colton Smith, and big win the other night, got off to a good start, and you had the first touchdown of the game, and how did that feel, and what did it feel like getting a victory on Saturday night?
The fast start, it felt amazing. I mean, the play before that we scored on, we were backside and we ran that route, and they left me wide open. So we ran it again, and they left me open again. So I scored on it, and then to look up in the stands and see everyone going crazy, it was a great atmosphere, and I'm glad we got the victory.
What's it going to take to beat Ironton this Saturday?
It's going to take a lot. I mean, everything we got, because they're a great football team, and I think we are too. And I think as long as we play like we can, I think we can come out on top.
I think it's going to take a total team effort. They're a very good football team. But so are we, so we're just going to have to keep trying to do what we've been doing, and it's going to be a very good football game.
We just have to make sure our defense linemen hitting their guys up front, our linebackers are playing downhill, and our offense just needs to be hitting on all cylinders again.
We got to stop the run. They're a run-heavy team. When I watched film this weekend, I noticed that a lot of their guys outweigh our guys. They got a lot of size, a lot of strength, so we got to be physical at practice, make sure our second and third string guys are giving us real good looks. We just got to work hard.
They're a good football team. They got a great standout player. Running back, linebacker. He's a great size, runs downhill. Defense, got to stand tall, stop the run, force them to pass, get out of their comfort zone. Offense, got to try to move the line of scrimmage. They're physical up front. The linebackers play downhill, so just got to move the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball and play to our strengths and see how it goes from there.
Are you up for the challenge?
Absolutely. We're made for this. Hard work all season. Playing good teams in Eden Valley and Garraway just prepared us for this moment. We're ready to accept the challenge.
Cooz also had a chance to talk with head coach John Slusser about their matchup against the Tigers.
With me this afternoon is John Slusser, the head coach of the Ridgewood Generals. And, Coach, first thing I want to discuss, tell us a little bit about that dominating win over Wheelersburg.
Obviously, I thought we played really well, especially right out of the chute. It was big to come out, score the first possession we had. We had that big pass to Colton. But really, the whole first half, I think we scored every possession besides we ran out of time before halftime. We took a knee. Thought defensively we played just well enough. We made plays when we had to. We gave up some yards, but we were able to make stands when we had to. And any time in a playoff game when you go into halftime up 28-3, you got to feel pretty good about yourself, and we did at that time.
The one thing I've noticed in the playoffs, especially when the competition is supposedly getting a little tougher, I think the thing that I'm most impressed with is what's happened at the line of scrimmage. Both sides of the ball, you guys have really dominated defensively and offensively.
Yeah, I think I said that last week, in just about every game this year, minus the Indian Valley one, which I think was pretty even. That's been the big thing. We've dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage, and anytime you can do that, that puts a lot of pressure on the other team to go ahead and make sure that they're hitting big plays against us, or otherwise they're going to have problems controlling that. I thought the other night against Wheelersburg, I thought we gave Gabe a lot of time to throw the football, which was a big deal. And I thought defensively we really took away their running game, except for G. Reed in the second half, which, they hit us on backside a few plays. But it was a pretty easy fix after, we saw it on tape in the series there with the huddle. But all in all, I was really pleased with it. And in both playoff games so far, we've been good. Now this week's going to be different. Ironton's really big up front. I think they're dominating in the trenches on both sides. So, I'll be happy with just holding their own this week.
That was the next question with Ironton. They've got some high-profile guys. Also, they're very big. They don't look like they throw it a lot. It sounds almost like a typical Ironton team. Back in the day, it was, 2 tights and a full house backfield and go. I don't know. They probably changed that a bit, but I think that's probably what you're looking at.
Actually, they still do a little bit of that. They still run double tights and a wishbone setter, full house look. The coaches took over. This is how old I'm getting. I coached against him and played at Portsmouth West back in 2008. He was a good player. He ended up going to Michigan State with Evan Jones. They're good friends. So, it's funny. It's a small world. You have connections like that. But he's managed to, I think, get the fire back in the Ironton program. People are excited about it. And he's also kept a little bit of the straight at it power game, and with the new twist, some of the spread and some of the stretch plays, and he throws it around a little bit. He has a capable quarterback. The Sayers kid's a nice athlete. He throws the ball well. I just think they choose to dominate up front. I think if they had to, they could be all right in a shootout, throwing the ball around too, because we're worried about some of the guys they have downfield and their ability to throw.
And that was going to be my last question is, with a team like that, I know you're going to probably have to prepare for a big tailback, and you're going to have to prepare for the grind, the pounding, but also have to be aware of throwing it over top a bit.
Anytime you play a team that pounds and pounds, eventually they lull you to sleep and are able to hit a big one, and they do that to people. Like I said, they have those people that can do that. They have two big tailbacks. The Carrico kid, which everyone knows about because he's an Ohio State kid. They've got another one, the 44 kid, I think Fossum's his name. He's a really nice player. They got a nice fullback in front of them. They rotate about 4 or 5 backs in there that are pretty good. Quarterback's a big running threat for him. I think he's a nice athlete. And I'm not even talking about the defensive side of the ball, which I think they're really, really good at. And, so far we've had our way offensively with a lot of people. I think this will be our biggest test. Can we score against this kind of defense? Because in the playoffs, eventually you run into these types of defenses. So it'll be a big test for us Saturday, and hope the weather cooperates and we can do what we do.
All right. Well, definitely looking forward to this one. I'll talk to you later in the week. Good luck.
Well, thank you. It's an exciting time.
So join us for the pregame show on Saturday night at 6:30 here on FM 99.3 and online at mywtnsradio.com as the Ridgewood Generals take on the Ironton Tigers. Kickoff will start at 7 p.m. This is Talkin Football, brought to you by the Bradford Financial Group, here on FM 99.3 WTNS Coshocton.
Talking Football on WTNS with Steve Cores and Casey Claxon.
Bradford Financial Group would like to congratulate the Ridgewood Generals on their excellent season and wish them continued success Saturday night against Ironton. Let's bring home a regional title. Bradford Financial Group, providing wealth and protection strategies for your financial health. Bradford Financial Group is located at 636 Chestnut Street in Coshocton. Contact investment advisor representatives Jason Bradford or Dan Croy at 740-622-3347 for an appointment. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Cetera Advisor Network, LLC, member FINRA SIPC, a broker-dealer, and a registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity.
Ridgewood interception by number 12, Bell.
But I will tell you this, if we play right, I ain't afraid of anybody. You understand that? As long as I know we're going to play right, I ain't afraid of anybody. You got that? Sir. So, we come back to work on Monday. We'll get things ready. We'll go take on Reed Carrico and the boys next week. Yeah. Hey, we'll play like we did tonight. What? Where are you laughing, John? John's terrified of Reed Carrico.
Yes, he's terrified.
Fans, thank you for making the trip. Wow, guys, great job. Enjoy the night. Mr. Lidley, take us home. Think about Ridgewood!